Journalists have dubbed Gil Scott-Heron the "Godfather of Rap", a title that has appeared in hundreds of articles about him since the 1990s. Scott-Heron himself resisted the "Godfather" nickname, however, feeling that it didn't encapsulate his devotion to the broader African American blues music tradition as well as bluesologist, the moniker he preferred. So you will see the subject, Scott Huron, himself is an intensive pronoun that emphasizes the subject, and we have a verb, resisted, the Godfather nickname. So the nickname would be the object. Subject and verb and object. Now we have a transitional word, however. So he prays, but he resists. So we can say however, but that however has to be in the at the beginning of the second sentence. That's because if you use it as the at the in the second half of the sentence, it's going to contrast that, and then you're gonna say, however, he probably like the title again, right? Because he resisted, and if you say however, it's gonna go back to the original that maybe he liked the he liked the Godfather of Rap title again. So we can eliminate choice D here because it just would not make sense to use however from from the time he said he resisted. And besides, he felt that it didn't encapsulate, and it also he rather want to be called a bluesologist. So having however is illogically placed in the second half of the sentence. What about the first one? So a nickname, however, it's missing a comma because we have this supplementary adverb, however, that marks the contrast from the title he received in the first sentence. And not only that, we also need this comma to separate the present participial phrase, feeling. So this feeling is done by Scott Huron. It's the Scott Huron's feeling, right? So it's feeling that he it didn't encapsulate. So we have a dependent clause all the way up to here, I think. Yes, dependent clause. Therefore, it's not going to be a sentence. So having said that, because it's not going to be a sentence, if you say however and semicolon, meaning it's not going to be an independent clause, we cannot use semicolon here to connect phrase with the clause, the main clause. Scott here himself resisted, main clause. And choice C, we have a comma before and after, and that's the way you go. Okay? Because it separates not only the transition word, the supplementary adverb, however, and also it separate the boundaries between the main clause and the participial phrase.